Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Sammy United People's TV. I'm going to apologise for the second day in a row to everybody watching on Facebook because, again, the chat's not popped up. No idea why. I restarted, did all the good stuff. It's been working fine. If you're on Facebook, make sure you come over to YouTube and just leave a comment on YouTube. I'll be able to read you on there. But it's Friday. Good morning to everybody. Hope you're going to enjoy the show. I'm going to enjoy it. Today, we are bringing in the Discord live call-ins, all right? So, if you're a member on Discord, go into the live chat, into the waiting area, and later in the show, I'll bring you on and we can have a chat. I've been meaning to do these regularly. I want to get this working nice and easily because then I can just introduce it every single day. At the end of the show, we can have a live call in every day. It's Friday. It's vibey. Let's enjoy ourselves. It's the international break, but I tell you what, it's been a pretty nice international break, isn't it? What a difference a win like that can make to your mood. I like to think that how United perform doesn't really affect my mood too much. But I think I'd be lying. Because it definitely does. I'm still thinking about that win against Liverpool 5 days on. I'm going to run through all the latest news. We're going to speak about David Ornstein on Erik Ten Hag. Quite an interesting interview from Harry Maguire on Ten Hag, praising his aggression, praising his bravery as a manager and what happened against Liverpool, and also speaking about England. We'll speak about Kobbie Mainoo. Haven't really mentioned Kobbie Mainoo much this week at all, really. And Bruno Fernandes. Guy's a physical freak. How he keeps doing it. And we'll speak about Manchester United being worried about PSR rules. We're going to be bringing in somebody to help with those. And plenty more. You can fire any comments, fire any questions. Well, you can't if you're on Facebook. Sorry about that. I'm sure I realised yesterday, it's still going to Facebook. I saw the video was live yesterday, but for some reason, it's just the chat's not popping up. I don't know. I thought I got it all working. It was working perfectly for like a week, wasn't it? Nearly there. But look, good morning to everybody. Who's here from the member gang? We've got T, Vicky, Carl from the mod gang. Gung Shi, you're there as well. Josh, nice to see you there, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Ant, you're there. Alex, you're there. Who's here from the member gang too? William, Charlie, Joe, Garlic Bread Man. How you doing? Adrian. We got Dean, Stephanie, Teresa, Sandman, plenty of you, plenty of regular faces, plenty of new faces. Love it. I love it. Just love how much we're sort of growing together as a community. And I like to think, anybody that was here at the beginning, I like to think that it's still, we've maintained our sort of identity, our sort of integrity. And my pledge, I'm not American, but my promise is that no matter where we go, that I'm always going to try and stick to that. Because it's important to me. It's why the growth has technically been slower than other channels, but I think once you get there, man, it makes you stronger. It makes you stronger. Anyway, I want to give you a little teaser of the video that's going out today to kick off this show, all right? You remember this lad? You remember those photos? As I said, haven't really spoken about the Liverpool game much. But even if we were having a good season, even if we were having a great season, that result would have been huge. And the fact that we're having a poor season, it kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. But anyway, you remember that lad. He was interviewed by the BBC. I didn't realise. This is what he said. That was the best moment of my life. He enjoyed it. The emotion got a bit too much for him. And it kind of inspired me to do a video. So this is a little teaser, the intro for the video that's going to be going out at 12 o'clock today. All right. This. See what you think. What's the ultimate feeling in football? What makes you lose control in a split second and you end up hugging a stranger you'd never met before? Last minute winners.
You scored in the last minute. Our injury time. Remember the dressing room? It was electric. Absolutely electric. The fans are going home. They can't wait to get to the pub to talk about. They can't wait to go home and tell their wife and their kids what it was like at Old Trafford to score in the last minute.
That's today's video, right? It's a very different video to what we've done so far with these story videos. I've been planning on doing this style of content. I can't tell you how long. I've always wanted to do it. I've always been worried about footage and using footage. I still am, if I'm being completely honest. But I like to think that we're doing it in such a creative way that we can argue fair use. But This video is kind of different to the other ones because the Paul Pogba one, we were telling a story. The Gary Neville one, we're just kind of dispelling a myth. This video here is kind of just based on like just raw emotion, really. And what it's my favorite thing in football. I don't know if it's yours, but my favorite thing in football is a last-minute winner. I would much rather have games like that against Liverpool rather than like a clean sweep 5-0 easy. I mean, it's nice, it's lovely, but you won't talk about it. You will always remember those last-minute winners. And that's why I'm doing that video there today. The video is going to be called This Is Why I Love Football, and I hope you like it. And if you do, please do share it, all right? Because it makes such a big difference to the channel and the community. And these videos, I think, really resonate with people, and I'd love to do more of them. Look at that. The whole gang's here this morning. Man, we've got Tom, Alex, Gungshi, and Shax all together. Yeah, I nailed that timing. Gifted 20 memberships. You legends, man. All of you. I'm gonna start being Alfie and just gonna start crying on screen. I'm not. But I hope you enjoy that. That's going to be today's lunchtime video. As I said, slightly different to what's normally been going out, but something I think will resonate with a lot of United fans. There's a little super chat there. Let me read this one out as well. I'm really sorry, everyone on Facebook, by the way. Anthony is saying that kid's reaction was me in the 99 Champions League final. I remember watching that with my dad in the living room in my old house. How old was I? 10. I didn't cry. I suppose, damn, I was that kid's age when we won the Champions League final. Damn, I'm old. Damn, I'm old. Lily is saying, Sam, we should do one that shows why Fergie's the greatest manager in the English game. I just sent a message out on Discord that's giving you access to the video suggestions channel. I said this on the live calling, on the live show yesterday. I'd love to hear your suggestions as a community for videos like this, right? A little teaser for what we've got coming out. We've got a couple of video ideas. One is going to be brilliant. There's going to be a video on a certain Nemanja Vidic and a certain Virgil van Dijk that will hopefully be coming out soon. And we've got a really good idea for a Kobbie Mainoo video as well. So if you've got any more of these video ideas, please head over to the Discord. It's like video suggestions is the name of the channel. Fire them in there because I'd love to involve you as a community. You can come up with great ideas too. Sarub, how you doing, man? I need to call you Saruman then. In fact, I'm going to call you Saruman. You're now Saruman of the channel. I'm not sure whether that's a good or a bad thing. In fact, I know it's not a good thing. ZX, you're saying, loving the new style vids and the Gary Neville one was spot on. Cheers, dude. Mate, that Gary Neville one. When you do certain videos like that, it's kind of easy to do. Steve's brilliant with helping with the scripting. I say helping with the scripting. He's really nailing the scripting. But when you feel certain kind of passionately about things, it makes it easier. And like Gary Neville just never defends himself. He's such a self-deprecation. He'll use himself as a joke because that's ha ha ha. Everyone else is laughing. It's fun. So it annoys me. That's why we did that video. And I think clearly it resonated. I hope I hope Gary watched it. I might tag him in it. He should do because if he's not going to defend himself, I will as a United fan because I think he deserves defending. A bit like this man here, right? I honestly am. I'm half convinced that Bruno is like a T1000. I'm half convinced that he's a machine. Because physically, it doesn't make logical sense. Bruno's ability to recover. Mate, his hamstring was in A&E against the Liverpool. Completely just, he was playing centre-back for 40 minutes. He could hardly walk. He could hardly move. It made no sense that Bruno was even finishing that game, let alone going away on the international break, scoring a goal, getting an assist, and it's just... Mainoo, oh, nice name. You're saying maybe he just had cramp. Hey, dude, it's... The way that Bruno plays, which is a very relentless style of play, like he's a Duracell battery player. It's like... He's not really... He doesn't do things slowly. Everything is fast. So that should mean that Bruno, it takes him longer to recover. But I don't know. He just kind of defies logic. That's what I mean. I said this already. I really, really hope I get to see Bruno lift in the Prem or the Champions League. I don't think I will. I don't think. I'd be very surprised even if Ineos nail what they're doing, right? And I hope they will. And we nail it in the summer. We get the transfer window right. I'd be surprised if we got to the point where we could win the Premier League in the next 3 years. I think it might take a little bit longer than that. Even if the trajectory is good, I think the gap is huge. So I don't know whether he will. And he's 28 now, so by the time he's 31, he's probably going to be on the way down. Bruno's cracked the matrix. I don't know what he's done. He's man, though. Jordan, cheers, dude. You're saying, love this channel. Everyone's amazing. Probably a little family vibe in here. I can't wait until we do a live show. That's going to be fun. Like a proper live show. I mean, we do a live show every day here. But I mean like an actual live show. If I ever did one, which I'm planning on doing in the future, we'd do it in a pub somewhere. Probably get it so we could watch the game. And then we could just have a little live chat there. It wouldn't be like in a theatre. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm not even slightly funny. Akash, you just gifted 5 memberships, dude. Thank you very much, man. Cheers to everyone. And as I said, all of you continuing to support this community is helping me make more content like this video that's coming out at lunchtime today. These videos aren't easy to make. There's a lot of work that goes into them. But I think the video itself at the end, these are the videos that I'm sort of proud of. So you can share it with family members or friends and say, look, mate, watch this video, it's class. And that's the content I want to do more of. And it's, I think I've said this before, little random segue here, but I've been doing YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a long, long time. And I've followed the trends because you have to, right? You do fan cams because that's what fan channels do, and you do this because this is what the trend is doing. This is the type of content that people are enjoying, and this is why we started doing the live shows, because I realised that was the way that we could properly build a community, and we've done that, and we've well, I haven't done it, we haven't completed it, but I think we've got a class community here. I can't wait to see how much bigger we get. And now the shift in the trend is moving towards, and I've said this for quite a while now. I'm telling you, watch other. Not just United channels, but the football space. Watch it over the next 6 to 12 months. There really is a shift towards higher quality content that resonates with people rather than loud, shouty content. And that is what I've always done here on United People's TV. So finally, the trend of where YouTube content is going aligns with the way that I've run this channel the whole time. So that's why I'm really excited about the next few years. Nick, you're saying hopefully Bruno gets a rest the next game. Mate, Bruno doesn't rest. I'm convinced that he doesn't have a sofa in his living room. He's just got like loads of treadmills. You know that music video where... Not that music video. I'm convinced he's just got a mega treadmill in his whole house. Just everywhere he's just running. He's making a cup of tea and he's still running somehow. Guy's bananas, he really is. Anyway, look, this is quite fun as well. It's a little video of Kobbie Mainoo in his England training. Easy. Too easy. Come on, get past me. Get past me. No chance. Access denied. Give me the ball. Access denied. I'm really excited to watch the England game. Just for the fact that I might see Kobbie Mainoo in an England shirt. I don't know. Oh, I just made a weird noise there. I think he'll probably come off the bench against Brazil. I'm guessing he might get 10, 15 minutes. Something like that. It's at Wembley, right? I think it is. Remember people said that we were overhyping. And this is the thing, right? It's players like Mainoo that gives everybody the energy to really shout for the academy. Not everybody is Mainoo level, right? That's the truth. There's hardly anybody that's Mainoo level. In fact, I don't think that Paul Pogba. When Paul Pogba came through, who did we have in midfield at the time? That Scholes came back out of retirement. What was it, 2012? I think it was. I think it was Blackburn. Who would have been in midfield then? Would it have been like an old Michael Carrick? I swear Darren Gibson might have even started there. I don't know what it was. But midfielders like Mainoo do not come around very often. Right? Victor, you're saying you can't overhype someone who is that good, and I think that's correct, dude. And we've got it right with Kobbie, man. We've got it right with Kobbie. And it's the thing that we've all been saying since day one. It's just he's 18, but he doesn't play like he's 18. Just the way he carries himself, the way he presents himself in interviews, the way he walks on the pitch, the way he plays football. Is somebody who looks like a seasoned professional. And to have that at 18 is something that Jude Bellingham had. To have that at 18, it's a bit different, really. Rooney was a very different sort of 18-year-old. I mean, most 18-year-olds, when they break through, are very different to how Kobbie Mainoo presents himself. I think Jude Bellingham's quite a fair comparison. Man, I'm excited to watch the rise. And I said this already, by the way. This rise would have been 3 months earlier had he not got injured. Like, he was always in... You know the midfield problems we've had this season? They wouldn't have been as severe if Kobbie hadn't have got his injury. Casemiro was always used in that isolated number 6 role. And when he comes back, right, because after the international break, imagine this, right, all the injury problems we've had this season, after the international break, Rasmus Højlund is going to be 100% fit. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to be 100% fit. Mason Mount's going to be 100% fit. And Lisandro Martinez is going to be 100% fit. Going into that Brentford game, we should be able to start with a back 5 of Onana. I mean, who's playing left back? Who is playing left back? Diogo Dalot, of course. Then you're playing Lisandro Martinez, probably Maguire, and then Wan-Bissaka. In midfield, you're probably playing Mainoo, Mount, and Bruno. Of course, it's still going to have the problems in the spacing in midfield, right? But that's going to be far better. And then up front, you're going to have Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund. You've got a team. You go, boy, I tell you what, man. Everything we've watched this season, that right there can be a team. And I'm telling you, I'm not telling you, I'm hopeful that between now and the end of the season, United can go on a different trajectory to what we've seen so far this season, and completely reverse last season, where we were kind of progressing and improving up until February, and then it was kind of a downward slope. This season, it's been a free fall until March, and maybe we start coming back up. We'll see. Kagawa, man. Do you remember Kagawa? I always felt sorry for Shinji Kagawa because we signed him, in my opinion, to replace Wayne Rooney. That was when the whole fallout with Fergie was still happening. And then Fergie obviously retired, and then Rooney stayed. And then Kagawa didn't really have a spot in the squad. Scored a hat-trick against Norwich. I should have done that as a little quiz question there. But his position was never really there because Rooney stayed for a couple more years. That's the way I saw Shinji Kagawa. Damn. Not very good at signing players from Dortmund, are we? Anyway, good news about Højlund. Well, I say good news about Højlund, but it's kind of good that Denmark are listening, I suppose, to what United are requesting for Højlund, because all season long, Jordan, cheers for gifting a membership there. You and Wheezy, you're best friends now. But all season long, we have been trying to manage Højlund's minutes. Remember, I don't know what game it was. There was a game where Højlund was taken off, and like Old Trafford booed loud. Right, Old Trafford was pissed, and it was like it's obvious that he was being taken off because his game time was getting managed. It's like Kobbie Mainoo coming off against Liverpool at the weekend. Erik Ten Hag did not want to take Kobbie Mainoo off, but he was looking after him. I think he's looked after. I think that's something that Ten Hag has done as well as he can. I mean, something that definitely hasn't helped. Let's be completely honest. Was it Brighton? It might have been. Has been probably the intensity of Ten Hag's training. I think that's definitely been a contributing factor to injuries this season, as well as a load of other things. But Højlund signed with an injury, took him a long time to play 90 minutes. Then he had that massive run. Then he got injured. Then he came back, and he's been managed as well as possible. So it's good to hear that Denmark are at least getting involved and listening to what United are asking for, and that he won't just play 2 full 90-minute games. We're saying down here, Kagawa showed a lot more than Sancho ever did. Well, I won't disagree with that, but still disappointing, given the expectations when he came in. Man, was that at the time as well that Gundogan was at Dortmund? I think it was. And I really, really wanted United to sign him at the time. A bit like I wanted United to sign Wesley Sneijder. Maybe Nicholas Gaitan as well. That'd be quite a funny little social post to do, wouldn't it? The starting 11 of players that you'd think United had signed the amount of times they were linked with the club. Sneijder, definitely one of them. Gaitan, definitely another one. What other players would you say? Transfer rumours that have just been there, like so many exhaustive transfer rumours that have just never come to fruition. What are you saying down here? Gundogan had a serious back injury. Look at that. Ed, thank you very much, dude. You're saying, like to say I find this channel the best source for news. If I see anything, I come to you first. Cheers, man. I like to be as accurate with the news as I possibly can. Hey, look, sometimes I get taken away. Sometimes I get swept away and involved in all of it. But it is what it is. I try and be as accurate as I can. Drop a like on the video. Makes a big difference. It really, really does. I've realised, I think I said this to you before as well, we've realised that the second most popular device for watching United people's TV on it's mobile is first, and then it's TV is second. So maybe there's quite a few of you watching on the TV, and I suppose on your TV it's not as easy to, I don't know, like the button. Like the button? Like the video? I have no idea. Anyway, let's speak about Harry Maguire. It's fair to say that Maguire has exceeded expectations this season. It's fair to say that Maguire has proven a fair amount of people wrong, myself included. I personally, I've already spoken about this before. I feel that my criticism of Harry Maguire was fair at the time. I don't think I ever went down the personal level. I don't really think I've questioned his professionalism. I remember that I got really annoyed at the old situation when he celebrated for England after he was playing absolutely garbage for United. I remember getting really annoyed at him just a lot. And I think it felt fair to me at the time. As I said, it's because he was captain, I gave him more scrutiny. But fair play to what Harry Maguire's done this season. And he's shown a ridiculous amount of resilience that I think a footballer needs to have, really, in the modern game. Footballers are, and I'm not just talking about Harry Maguire here, footballers are richer and bigger as individual brands because of modern society, social media. They've now got their own platforms with a couple of million followers on Instagram, a couple of million followers on Twitter. They're their own advertising platform. They can bring in their own brand deals that are separate to the club far easier than they could before. It's not to say they couldn't do it before. They always had boot sponsorships and stuff. But footballers are far more powerful. And with that extra exposure to brands and money and more access comes extra exposure on the other side, criticism. And that's kind of part and parcel of it. But what Harry Maguire has done on the pitch this season has been quite impressive. And what I want to run through is a couple of comments here, right? And this one here on Erik ten Hag and how he approached the Liverpool game. He said, look, we didn't really get control of the game, so credit to the manager. He'd seen that and told us to be more aggressive. He put on an attacker and basically said, let's go man for man. It worked. It enabled us to get higher up the pitch, put more pressure on them. Credit to the manager. And he goes in a bit more detail here. When Anthony equalised within 2 minutes, Maguire looked across to the bench and he goes, I'm thinking he might put on a centre-back to go a bit more safe again. But no, credit. He wanted to stay aggressive. And all the way through extra time, he stuck with myself and Delo being the only two defenders on the pitch. It was brave and it worked. And that point there, right, about bravery. about taking risks. That right there, and we spoke about the Manchester United identity. Oh, look at that. We're 2 subscribers away from 394. There's 2 of you that aren't subscribed. Hit that button now. We'll have to do some sort of mega giveaway at 400. That'd be cool. What should we do? Don't know. I'll think about it. But anyway. Risks. Taking risks as a Manchester United manager. Taking risks as a Manchester United player. United fans will always forgive, or not necessarily forgive, but United fans will always give more time to managers who take risks. Will always give more time to players who take risks. 394, big up to everyone there. The player that always springs to mind for me was Nani. Because boy, Nani got you frustrated. But Nani was a player who, within a split second, can change a game because he took those risks. And that's what made Louis van Gaal football the worst football that we'll ever see post-Fergie. I'm convinced it won't ever get any worse than that because Van Gaal was risk-averse. You remember when, I swear he spoke about this in an interview, he or the players did, the way that Van Gaal coached those players was that if a player received the ball in a box, even if they could take a first-time finish, Van Gaal drummed it into the players that they should take a touch before taking a shot, because statistically, they would improve their chances. It's more likely they would score with that shot. So that he's taken away the sort of instinctive, quick reactions of players to try and increase your odds. And that's how Van Gaal played football. I've showed you those horror 0-0 stats. It's like the worst thing you'll ever see. And fair play to Ten Hag. He does deserve real praise for that. And he wouldn't have got that result had he not gone for it. Had we not ended up with Bruno at centre-back and Anthony left-back. That's part of what made it so good, was how chaotic it was on the pitch at the end. All the chaos that we've hated this season, it was the chaos that made it so wonderful at the end. Enzo, cheers, dude, for gifting 5 memberships. But, one sec. Do you know how much nicer that digital gong is? As much as I enjoyed the original setup, somebody should send me a screenshot of comparing this to where we were, I don't know, even like 6 months ago, like as in the quality-wise. It's really nice, man. I'm really proud of it. I'm so proud of it, I put my name on it. I mean, I literally do put my name on it. But I just like those comments from Maguire on Ten Hag. And he's also spoken about his involvement with, of course, England, right? And he said this. There's loads of people who probably don't think I should be in the squad. There's millions of people that think I should be. And he speaks about the criticism that he got at United. He goes, I went through a difficult year, but a lot of scrutiny came my way. I was a United captain and the team didn't perform well. But he goes down here and says this. I feel like I'm performing really well for my club. I'm mentally strong. I've overcome a lot. I have great belief in my ability and what I can bring to the team. And I'm quite good at switching off away from football. I'm not getting a gong tattoo of 400k subs. I'm going to put that down in the bad suggestion pile. But look, I've been, I wouldn't say I was one of the first to criticise Maguire, but because I've got this platform, I suppose I'm one of the loudest. And I went in ham on him. My personal opinion is still that Manchester United should sell Maguire, get a good amount of money for him, wish him the best of luck, and I think he goes on to be a very good Premier League centre-back for a couple more years, maybe, somewhere else. I think he's more than capable of doing that. I personally don't think that Harry Maguire should stay at Manchester United. Just personally. He has been playing far better. He is good as an aggressive centre-back when he times it right. But when he doesn't have the ability to recover, which is why a lot of United, I actually think it's more Varane and Evans, really, who have been kind of dropping back. But, I don't know. I want to go back to speaking about Ten Hag, because David Ornstein has been speaking about Ten Hag. And we always listen to what David Ornstein's got to say. Enzo, I said this before, Enzo is such a quality name, man.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell.
Was there someone in The Godfather called Enzo? I haven't watched Godfathers in so long. I'll tell you what I'm watching right now. Random little chat. Has anybody watched Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield? I won't tell you what it is. But it's if you like True Detective, you should watch Under the Banner of Heaven. It was made in like 2022. I kind of went under the radar. It's really, really good. It's if you haven't watched it, go and watch the trailer. I'd highly, highly encourage. I've only got one episode left, and it is top class. It's kind of a series I don't think really went under the radar. I don't think not many people knew about it. Anyway, Enzo, top class name. Let's speak here about Erik ten Hag, and let's listen to what David Ornstein has to say about him. All right.
These people like your Omar Baradas, your Dan Ashworths, Jean-Claude Blanc on behalf of Ineos, they're sort of coming into these high-power positions. They're paid the big bucks because they've got to make calls that are going to define the future of Manchester United. If Erik ten Hag was on the market, there would be many clubs looking at him. There probably already are because of the uncertainty around him. We've seen links to Germany, some of the biggest clubs there, for example. And perhaps if Manchester United didn't have a manager, they would be looking to somebody like him. At times, to have is to hold, and they might decide that he is the best candidate to lead them.
David Ornstein saying pretty much, exactly what I said. I said it this week, I think. I said it last week. I have no doubt whatsoever that if Erik ten Hag left Manchester United, he would go somewhere and he would be successful. I think if he went to Bayern Munich, he would crush it at Bayern Munich. I honestly don't have any reservations about that at all. And we signed Erik ten Hag because he was one of those up-and-coming managers. And if Erik ten Hag was to be sacked, hypothetically, we'd look in the market for one of those up-and-coming managers. And we go, right, he's the man to take us forward. You remember a couple of weeks ago, I said the way that it's going, the feeling is that Ten Hag won't be Manchester United's manager next season. But you know what we always say, which is completely correct and true, football's a results game. And that result against Liverpool was huge. That result against Liverpool for Erik ten Hag was massive. And now we've got Brentford, Chelsea and Liverpool coming up in a 7-day period after the international break. If we win those three, hypothetically, of course, but if we win those three, we put ourselves firmly in the hunt for a Champions League finish. In fact, you might probably put us down as one of the favourites because of the games that Spurs have still got. I think it's around about mid-April where they play City, Arsenal and Liverpool in 3 consecutive weeks. I think Villa have still got some tough games too, and Villa have been wobbling. It's that week is, up until this point, that week there is season defining. The win against Liverpool was so big in the context of our season and everything that's going on, and the context of what Liverpool are trying to go for this season, that it's given a massive boost to Erik ten Hag. And we know that football is a results-driven game. So we need to see what comes. I'm excited, man. Was it next, not Saturday coming, Saturday after, 8 p.m, Brentford. Then midweek, away at Stamford Bridge. That's probably going to be the most chaotic game of the season. The way that Chelsea play, the way that United play, that game's going to be like 5-4. Some madness like that. And then Liverpool at home in the league. I'm excited about the rest. We were worried, weren't we, that at 22nd of March, we were thinking, oh, mate, season is done. Had we lost against Liverpool, a lot of us might even think that the season is done right now, but it's not. And what David Ornstein is saying there resonated with me because I've said it as well. I think Erik ten Hag would be an in-demand manager if he left Manchester United, and I think he would succeed if he goes straight into it. Imagine he goes straight into a club like Bayern Munich that has it all set out. Everything's done. All you got to do, my friend, is coach. That's an environment that Ten Hag would thrive in. Let's see. I personally feel that the end to this season is, whether Ten Hag has a job next season, I think will be up to Erik Ten Hag. The fact that he got those players playing like they did against Liverpool, getting that last minute goal, goes to show they are playing for him. Now, you need to... I don't think control will come this season. You know, that's something I've been shouting and screaming it all season long. We all have, right? I think I've realised now that it's just never coming. So you got to semi-embrace the chaos and think, how can we get the most out of this chaos then? And I think the way you get the most out of this chaos is Mainoo, Mount, and Bruno. I'm not putting that midfield in to get an element of control in the game. I know we're not going to control the game. So I'm thinking, how are we going to be the most explosive, dynamic team on a transition that is unstoppable? That's the midfield I'm playing to make the most of that. It's not sustainable past the end of this season, right? But you'd need more signings to I don't think it's a massive flip and a switch. I think it's a tweak. I think there needs to be a tweak in recruitment this summer to get that control back, whilst also not losing the element of transitional quality. That's what we'd have to, and that's where you need your Barada and your Ashworth to come in and say, right, I know this concept of being the best transition team in the world is great. That's a nice vision. However, Erik, that is not going to get us to win the Champions League and the Premier League. You've seen you're far too open. It doesn't work. But there's elements of it that we like. We can see that it's a United way. You've got late winners against Villa, against Brentford, against Liverpool, against... who else? Fulham? I think Fulham was too. But, all right, that's not sustainable in the long term. You need to get some control. How can we get more control? Well, you probably need a midfielder like this. You probably need a defender like this. And I think if you combine the two, if you take the best bits of this season, there have been some good bits. Been a lot of shit. If you take the good bits, the best bits, how good United can be on the transition, are some of the goals that we scored, brilliant. You take that, and then you combine that with the overall control that we just haven't had this season, and you sign towards getting players for that control, best of both worlds together, and then you have a sporting director and you just let Ten Hag focus on the football. I don't know, man. And this is the thing, right? This is the thing I want to say about Erik Ten Hag before we move on to the next talking point. If Erik Ten Hag is sacked, we're only going to go and hire a manager like Erik Ten Hag. Somebody who's that similar sort of style concept. Because we've just signed loads of players towards that. So Man United aren't going to do a huge U-turn and go, right, we don't want any transition players at all. Let's get Mourinho in. We're not going to do that. We would go down a path where the manager would be quite like Erik Ten Hag. It wouldn't be a huge shift. That's what I mean. It's about tweaking. It's about taking the best bits of this season and the stuff that goes with the identity and the vision and go, well, this is a clear problem. This is what we need to fix. And Gareth Southgate, it's really annoying me how many... I think Keane spoke about it. Gary Neville spoke about it. There's so much energy towards Gareth Southgate. I'm like, mate. Complete opposite of Erik Ten Hag. Gareth Southgate is the most unaggressive manager in the world. God, do you remember the Euros final? Oh, man. Was it Luke Shaw who scored after like 6 minutes? Are you thinking, man, we can get... If you can go and kill the game now. But Gareth Southgate was like, absolutely not. I'm going to sit on a 1-0 lead. Oh, lo and behold... Italy score. Oh, lo and behold, we go to a penalty shootout. Oh, lo and behold, you bring on Sancho and Rashford, who hadn't kicked the ball hardly all tournament, and then you get them to take a penalty at Wembley. Oh, yeah, well done. They've missed it. Yeah, fantastic management there, Gareth Southgate. Really, really nice. You want him at United after Ten Hag? Yeah, well, enjoy the next 3. Well, no one does. That's what I mean. This is why it doesn't make any logical sense. And it's why it's annoying me that the media is giving it so much energy. Because even if it's not Ten Hag, we are not going anywhere near Gareth Southgate or a manager like Gareth Southgate. Or we'd spend the next 2 years changing the whole squad again.
I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell.
Fergie in for Nuruddin. How you doing, Nuruddin, man? Anyway, felt like I just had a little bit of a rant there. Don't like that word, rant. I think it's overused. If you ever catch me using the word rant in a YouTube title, you can sack me. I think. I might have done it before. I wonder if anyone's going to look for it. And let's not talk about England, those Euros. Do you want to know a funny story? It's actually one of my worst moments. Clear, I know you're not watching. Dan, I know you're not watching. But Euro 2020 final, we're in London because I've got tickets to go to Box Park. Box Park to go and watch the England-Italy final. And I was thinking, this is as close as you're going to get to getting a ticket in the stadium. It was incredible. We were buzzing. We were in London. We went out to a few pubs. We're buzzing. We're getting a bus. We go to the train. We're going towards Wembley. Really loving it, walking down Wembley Way. We get to Box Park. And I'm like, I've got my tickets. My mate sorted me the tickets out. Get there, and I'm like, well, this looks a bit weird. Got to the entrance, and he goes, "What are you doing here, mate?" I was like, "Oh, I've got tickets, guys. Got tickets to Box Park." And he goes, "No, you don't. Because Box Park is closing. We don't have a license to show the game because it's right next to Wembley." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Scroll back through my messages, and I had tickets to Box Park in Croydon. And we were at Wembley like 45 minutes before kickoff with no tickets to get in Box Park because they were closing. And my mates were pissed. So we had to leg it as far away from Wembley as we possibly could because it was rammed, to then try and get a taxi to go back to Shepherd's Bush to go to my mate's house. And I think we got in like 30 seconds before kickoff. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we'd lost. We were like, okay, well, I'm glad we're not there. But that was a big balls up from me. Fun fact. It's not really that fun. It's quite I'm an idiot for that. Anyway, let's move on to the next talking point. I think there's a couple of super chats there. I don't want to miss these. Nuruddin saying, once again, I'm calm about the Erik situation. Just don't feel it's right to replace him. I'm not saying he's guaranteed. I still don't think he's guaranteed to be here next season. But that win against Liverpool was massively galvanising. And Ratcliffe and Brailsford, seeing a United manager taking risk and seeing the whole energy of that stadium behind him and behind that team, was probably a big moment for them. Where they go, that he can do it. He can take those risks. Because that was a game where he didn't, especially when, I don't know, he went for it in a game where his job was on the line. The wrong result in that game and the wrong performance. The job was on the line. But he came through it. Let's move on to the next talking point here. After that one. Clear and Dan have never forgiven me for that. I can't really blame him either. Right. So, by the way, in about 5-6 minutes, I'm going to be heading over to Discord. So if anybody in the waiting room, Alex, you're in the waiting area. There's only one of you. Right, these Discord call-ins, members, it's only going to work if you join in. And if you don't, I might open it up to the whole community because it's there as a perk for you as members to come in and join in for the last 10 minutes of the show. So if you can go into the waiting area, I see Alex is in there. Right, I'll head over here because I need to talk about this. Man United are scared. Our budget this summer, no one has any idea how much it is, but Man United are worried, right? ESPN, Manchester United looking for extra help to keep the club on the right side of football's finance regulations. United will hire a football finance manager who will be responsible for ensuring the compliance with profit and sustainability rules. Now, that's how bad, ladies and gents, our finances are. We've got to hire in outside help. Somebody who is just completely dedicated to just making sure you stay within the rules. I mean, you should do that anyway. You shouldn't need a PSR manager. Your accounts and your books should all just be bang on. But instead, this is the This is what Ratcliffe and Brailsford and Ineos are going to have to deal with for the first 2 years. They've bought a house and they've gone in and they're going, Christ, that needs gutting. Need to pull up those floorboards. Oh, it's damp over there. They have to gut Manchester United. Like, it's insane. I was thinking about it on the toilet this morning. Something, you think good thoughts on the toilet sometimes. Manchester United, revenue-wise, I don't care what City try and make up. We have the biggest revenue of any club in England. How on earth are we anywhere near profit and sustainability rules? Do you know how crap you have to be run as a business to make the most money and still be at threat of breaking profit and sustainability rules? That is how poorly run we have been. Like, it's negligent, basically. It's insane. I don't know how much our budget's going to be. I would love to think that our budget's going to be 150, 200 mil. I'm going to mention this the other day. I saw Stephen Housen saying about how Manchester United are going to have 500 million spent. And I'm like, where in the world are you getting that number from? And it's probably about amortization. And if you sign a player for 100 million, it's only going to cost you 20 million on your... I actually haven't watched the videos, but I presume it's something like that. I mean, technically you could do that, but it's not going to happen. The Glazers have taken us to the point of financial ruin. They're trying to get money out of the cash machine. It's saying empty. Nothing there. And that's why they had to get an outside investment in, because they just couldn't do it anymore. Their business plan was not a business plan. Their business plan was leech off it until there's nothing to leech. I can't wait until they're gone, but at least they're gone from the football side of things. But this is. I know that we all want to win right now, but it's going to take time to clean up the mess. It is going to take time to, and on top of that, we've got to build a new bloody stadium and a new training ground with no money. There's going to be more debt. The structure of that debt, who's responsible for it, who pays the interest on it, that's going to be the questions. It's impossible for us to get a new stadium and a new training ground without more debt coming in. But it's how that debt is managed, which is going to be the biggest question. That's what I think anyway. But look, what I'm going to do here, let me pull that photo up here. Actually, no, I'm not going to pull that photo up. Let me go over there and let's see if we can go to the Discord, live and direct. AJ Tracy. Wait for it. We're here, we're on. Okay. All right. Let's see. I can see. Oh, there's three of you. Enzo, you're there. Oh, Enzo, I'm going to bring you. Alex, I saw you there first, but Enzo, I've been speaking about you, and you've been firing in super chats. Enzo, I'm going to bring you in. Let's unmute your mic. Are you in the game? Enzo, I'm going to bring you. Alex, I saw you there first, but Enzo, I've been speaking about you, and you've been firing in super chats. Enzo, I'm going to bring you in. Let's unmute your mic. Are you in the game? Oh, I can hear myself, Enzo.
I think I am, Sam.
There he is. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear over.
Yes, mate. How you doing, man?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Enjoying the programme.
Mate,
I call it a programme. It's my favourite channel that I watch every morning at this time, and I've been doing it since October.
Mate, well, where were you before October is what I'm going to ask you.
Not watching anything. I was just bored one day, and I went through all the various ones that are out there, and I thought, this is the best one to watch and keep watching. And then I just had to work out how to get my Discord going. And now I'm here. You made it.
You've made it. Oh, Enzo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for support, dude. And what question?
Yeah, no worries.
What question you got for me?
I haven't got a question.
Oh, let's just have a chat then.
You said join, and I said join, and here I am. So I've got no question.
What do you think about Kobbie Mainoo then? Do you reckon he's going to play much in the international break?
He might do. He might get a little bit of a warm-up, but he probably won't get significant minutes in terms of he's not going to be getting full games. So I'd say probably 20 minutes a game probably he'll get.
I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. And if I can ask you, Enzo, what's your opinion on Ten Hag?
I think he's a stayer purely because I think you've been hitting the nail on the head, really, in terms of who else would you get? And then whoever you then get, you then have to buy new players to meet what they want to do. So there's going to be no point. And I think he's got to be given a chance, as he's been brave and he's played a ridiculous team ending up on Sunday. And then really what he's got to do then is, with the new structure, be given a chance. And if he can't work it with the new structure, then it's time to go. So he at least needs a go off the new structure, I would say.
Well, I suppose we'll find out. But, mate, thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for being part of the community. And I'm glad you found a little thing to do in the morning.
Yeah, steady now.
Take it easy, Enzo.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Sam. Bye now.
This is good fun. Everyone's joining in now. Alex, you're there. You're waiting patiently, man. Come on board. It's what I mean. Now we can do like live call-ins. We're here. We're on. And your mic's working, I think.
Yeah, hopefully it's working this time.
Yeah, that was embarrassing last time, mate. How you been?
Yeah, all right. I'm a bit like you. I've watched the game back from last weekend more than I've watched back any other game, I think, in United history, apart from '99. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that. But at the same time, I don't know if you're in this camp, but I'm in this camp with Mainoo of I really don't want him to get injured with England.
I mean, it is what it is what it is, I suppose. But I'm not particularly worried about that. I don't know. I probably should. I'll be honest. I hadn't really thought about it. Now that you said it, I'm just going to be sitting here thinking about Mainoo getting injured.
I'm the same with Lisha going off with Argentina as well. I'm sorry to be a bit negative, but the question I was going to ask you was completely separate to that.
No,
my question was going to be completely separate. Firstly, big up what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
The videos that have gone out this week have been brilliant.
Cheers,
especially the ones talking about the dream signings, because we're allowed to dream, and you're getting this whole community dreaming in a sensible way, I think, rather than going full hype machine like a few other channels do.
Is that possible? Can you dream sensibly? I'm not sure you can. I think that's the whole concept of dreaming. It's unrealistic.
Yeah, well, you're probably a little bit more towards the realistic end. Like, you can see it happening, rather than saying, "Oh, we're going to go and sign Mbappe, and we're going to go and sign," people that are just unrealistic. But the question I had for you was striker. Look, last summer we said probably need 2 strikers. We ended up with 1. That means we probably need another striker this summer, considering Martial is gone.
Yeah.
And we basically just have Højlund. So my question was, considering all of the people you're thinking for midfield and defence, what do you think the striker budget is, and who do you think that would be?
I think I said it in the video, because I was like, right, we'll talk about the right wing positions and the striker after, because they're kind of separate positions. But I think that if we're going to sign somebody who's older, it's probably going to be the striker, because Højlund's our number 1, right? So whatever striker we want to sign, it's not going to be someone who's going to take Højlund out the first 11. It's going to be somebody who can play the games that we can therefore rest Højlund, and therefore we can get the most out of Højlund. And I don't think you're going to be able to get a striker of like top elite level quality who will want to do that position. You're either going to get someone really young, and I don't think that's the right answer, because Højlund's already young. So I think you're probably going to, if there's going to be one bit of experience, I think it comes up front. And therefore, I don't think you're going to be looking at more than like 20 million, just as a guess. I think it'll be like a cheap squad. Life of Riley's mentioning Tony down in the comments. Gabriel Barbosa, was he the one that got relegated? Was it with Santos? I think it was. Benzema, nah, man. We're not going to be looking towards any of those like mad Galactico level signings. I just don't think it's going to be an expensive one.
I'd really, really like Terem Moppy, but I think he might cost more than 20 million now, because he's
who's
gone up a few levels.
Is it Munchen?
He's at Nice.
Nice. Oh yeah, right. Yep. Yeah. I got you.
And obviously, because he's at Nice, that you can talk about Radcliffe and Ineos and Nice.
Well, I think they're going to be a bit busy with Todibo, and maybe actually Thuram. You can't actually rule Thuram out. Didn't actually speak about him. Probably not. Yeah, but maybe. But it's a good question. Thank you very much, Alex.
No worries. Keep up the great work, mate.
Yeah, we're getting there. The Discord calling, the live show, it's working. Who's there? Who else is there? Akash, you've been waiting patiently. Oh, he's come back in.
Yeah, sorry. No, I just wanted to say, keep up the great work. And
Cheers, dude. Cheers, dude. Everybody, by the way, if you haven't already seen what this is finally the live call-ins that I've been planning for a long old time. If you're on Discord and you remember, just make sure you connect your YouTube channel to Discord and you'll be able to access this area here. This is the member zone. Lounge, Q&A, which I will be starting soon, by the way. And then you can join in these live calls like Akash, who's going to be coming on and saying hello here. Akash, you in?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, dude.
Yeah, I think I've been a relatively recent joiner of the United community. I think I've enjoyed, especially like your content generally as well. I think you've got some serious talent.
Cheers, dude.
To be fair, yeah. So it's been very engaging, and sometimes I've got a bit of not a small attention span, but it's like relatively. You got to keep me engaged sometimes, and I think you hit the spot quite perfectly with your stuff. So I thought
thank you, man.
In there as a starter. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm loving as I said, I've wanted to do the storytelling videos that we've started for a long time, and we finally pulled the trigger, and they're really resonating. So it's nice to see like an idea come to fruition that people are actually enjoying.
Yeah, I agree.
But Akash,
on the Man United, obviously onto the real business. I think there was a good little end to the live show there as well with the story of the finances. I think I've been looking recently into how Chelsea have been treated on the FFP, on the PSR side, I should say.
Yeah.
And obviously they've got like between 150 and 200 million pound black hole, and it'll be interesting to see how they get treated. And I think that's probably the reason why they've gone down this route in terms of hiring a guru and hiring specialist people, so they'll make sure that they get within the rules here, because I think it looks like that the authorities, whether it's the UEFA or whether it's the Premier League, I think they are trying to stamp down on the binge spending, shall we say, on the
I can't see. Right, of course, if you're rich, you've got great accountants, and that's what Chelsea will have. But I'll be amazed if they can somehow wriggle out of this, and they can fix their books in such a way that they're not breaching rules, especially when it's not going well for Chelsea and they've got so many players on 8-year contracts. So, you know how Maguire argued about money that he would be owed if he left and went to West Ham. Imagine what some of those players could argue if they're on an 8-year contract, if Chelsea want to sell them. And that's when you come down to like individual player contract employment law and stuff like that, let alone all the money that they've amortized and put further. They've just kicked the can down the road. I've said it all along. I hope Chelsea folds. I think that's the one club I would love to see just explode.
Yeah, it's interesting times. I think like depending on what happens there, because I think that could set a precedent for everybody else.
I think the precedent's kind of, well, the precedent's been started this year with Everton, Forest. I think Leicester got done yesterday too. And then, of course, you've got City with 115, and then you've got Chelsea. So that's 5 clubs. There's 3 that have been charged. There's 2 that are under investigation. And United are flirting so close. We are sailing so close to the wind that this summer, of more than any summer we've ever had, we're going to sell, and we're going to sell big. I think there's going to be a player or 2 that gets sold that maybe not every United fan wants to be sold. And I think they're the sorts of players that you need to sell. Ones of players that have actually got genuine value.
Yeah.
That's why I think so. Akash, thank you very much for joining in, dude.
Thanks very much for having me. Cheers.
It's good. It's good to like. We got it working, people. Did it. I'm giving myself a little celebration here. There's not been 20 gifted memberships, but I'm giving myself a little. Wait for it. Yeah, we got it working. I apologise to Joe, to Brian, to CC, to Anthony for not bringing you on there. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, because I've got to wrap it up because I've got more stuff to plan. As I said earlier in the show, 1 second there, this video coming out today, I think you're really going to love. Football has the ability to elicit joy or despair with a single kick of a ball. Yeah, it's a video which is going to sort of not play on your emotions. I think that's a harsh thing to say, but it's an emotionally driven video about what I love about football. Yes, Gungshi, of course it's map day today. I absolutely didn't forget. I'm not just opening up the map here. Absolutely not. I knew that the map was coming. Not one part of me forgot about the map today. Nuruddin and Jibak, man. Thank you so much. I didn't forget. I didn't forget at all. All right? Not one part of me forgot. Ladies and gents, where are you watching from? All right? Fire it in the comments. City and the country. All right? I just got told off on my own show. Sorry, miss. Won't happen again, miss. Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Sorry, miss. Takes you back to school, that. We've got Jonathan watching from Malta. Naxar. That sounds pretty cool. Naxar in Malta. Awesome. I don't know whether he made that place up, but he hadn't. On you go. Let's get a couple more down here. We've got Firebug watching from Adelaide in Australia. I think we've got Adelaide on here already, but sorry. On you go. Let's get one more. So that's where we got. We've got Malta, Australia, and one more here. We've got Divyanshu watching from New Delhi in India. On you go. Wish you could write names. You could probably New Delhi. I've just realised that I could have added names for every person. Oh well, 600. Whoops, 600 points in. That is quite literally the 600 point on the map. I've just realised I could have put a name next to it. Ah well. Naxar is pronounced Nasha. I didn't know that. But look, that show, I apologise to everybody on Facebook because I didn't get to see your comments on your chat. I don't know what's going on here. I'll reconnect it all. It should be working fine. I'm actually working with the software, guys, later on. This is a little teaser as well. Teaser? Spoiler? Spoiler? Teaser. Speaking of teasers, anyone see the Beetlejuice trailer? Love that film. Anyway, I digress. I'm working with the software team later. You know the whiteboard that we had there, all transfer season? I'm making a brand new digital version of all of that. So we've got our setup here for the live show. Going to be having a new setup for the transfer stuff. That's going to be a big level up. Everything you're doing, it's everything you're supporting this community with. I like to think you're seeing it being reflected in United People's TV going upwards. So big up to all of you. I'll be here on Monday. Live show on Monday. Lunchtime video today at 12. I'll probably do another video tomorrow. I'll see if there's a talking point. If not, maybe we'll have a weekend off. It is the international break. Have a cracking weekend, everybody. Don't get too drunk. I'll see you soon.